And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are we live on the YouTube space? Yes, we are. Hi, I'm Dan Salem, live on YouTube. Here talking NFL and sports. Let me go live on my dual platform here, Facebook. 3, 2, 1. Hey, Facebook community. I'm Dan Salem, live talking the NFL and a little bit of the wide world of sports at large. I would like to first come out and say I'm a few minutes later than usual today. I was getting my workout on, came straight from the home gym to be with you guys here live, and I'm also just receiving my voice back after a weekend in Vegas. Man, a lot of people smoke in Vegas. I didn't partake in any smoke action, but it still nailed my throat a bit, so I am biding my voice. I am a little softer than usual. Just crank up your volume. All right, Dan Salem here, live on YouTube, live on Facebook Live, at the Dan Salem, at BuzzChomp. I am going to tweet this from at the Dan Salem and then retweet it from at BuzzChomp with an extra letter Z, so you guys can share, and join in the live NFL conversation. And I've tweeted it. It's been tweeted. That shit happened. All right, now I'm going to retweet it on the BuzzChomp Twitter, and that shit will have happened too. Oh yeah, we love our Twitter. We love our Twitter. Let it go. The Twitter shows the pictures from last week every single time, stupid cookies. I have a nice Kirk Cousins image up with the franchised label slapped on there. So Jimmy Garoppolo was the conversation last week. This week it is all about the franchise. Kirk Cousins is the man of the hour, so we'll start with him. The Washington Redskins slapped an exclusive franchise tag on Mr. Kirk Cousins. Todd Salem, my brother, and I will be debating this on NFL Spin Zone tomorrow. Not from the traditional, oh, he got franchised angle, but from the apparently Mr. Cousins likes the 49ers angle. What the hell is he thinking? Why would he want to trade to the 49ers? Why would anyone want to go over to the 49ers right now? Because they don't seem to have much of a plan in place just yet outside of a nice new rookie head coach. But we'll have that up on NFL Spin Zone, and you'll find it over on Dan Salem on Facebook pages tomorrow. So Cousins got the exclusive franchise tag. Now, what does that mean? The exclusive tag means that he cannot field offers from any other team. If it was non-exclusive, other teams could present an offer to Cousins. The Redskins would have the opportunity to match. But this is exclusive, so it's only between him and Washington. Now, if Washington wants to trade Cousins, then he gets to negotiate a deal with the team that will be accepting him in the trade, because why would anyone want to take him on the franchise tag? That just seems a little bit ridiculous. So right now it's between him and Washington, and apparently the only team in the league that Cousins would like to go to, if it isn't the Redskins, is the 49ers. Now, either this is a really strange ultimatum, or it's like just a joke. I don't know. I mean, he picked his trade partner assuming that the 49ers want a deal for him and the Redskins want to deal with them. But I think he just really wants to stay in Washington. They got a winning team. The 49ers do not. They've got good momentum going after 2 winning seasons. That's right, 8-7-1 is still a winning season, even though they were out of the playoffs. They won the division 2 years ago. He has just had 2 prove-it years and totally proved it. He's the only quarterback in history to get slapped with the franchise tag 2 years in a row. I believe it was $24.3 million. He will be the 4th highest paid player if that number sticks. But he'll sign a long-term deal. I mean, you can almost guarantee that Kirk Cousins will sign a long-term deal with the Washington Redskins, unless they just want to pay him crazy one-year money, or trade him, I guess. The only way I see them trading him is if they get a first-round pick and they like one of these rookie quarterbacks out of college better than Cousins, and the team that they're dealing with likes Cousins better than those rookies. But still, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. You franchised him exclusively. You're going to sign him long-term, most likely. But tomorrow, Todd and I will debate why the hell he likes the 49ers and what the heck's going on in Mr. Cousins' mind. But he's been franchised. Several other players got franchised. Jason Pierre-Paul of the New York Giants got franchised for the 2nd year in a row. He proved it, sort of, last season. But then he got hurt. So I guess what's to be garnered here is that his market value is greater than the franchise tag. It's the only thing I can figure, because the Giants don't want to pay him a ton. I mean, he's an older player with injury history. He's coming off an injury, and I mean, but they want him, and he's been great, and he could be great again. So I think they negotiate a amicable deal. It's not going to be, quote, team friendly or player friendly. I think it'll be somewhere in the middle, and those sides will agree. I have a feeling JPP stays in New York, but now I understand the Giants gave him the tag because if anybody else wants to sign him, then they get draft pick compensation, and that's wonderful for New York. So either way, they win in this JPP thing. Todd Salem, my brother, had a nice piece over on Pro Football Spot about Jason Pierre-Paul not truly enjoying this offseason process. We can also find it on BuzzChomp.com. And I kind of agree. I don't think JPP is going to find the market overly friendly. He probably ain't going to beat that franchise tag level. So he could sign like a 3-year deal for maybe 10 a year. I think he got franchised for like something like 16. So like that's an unbeatable level. I don't know if the Giants would ever keep him at that either. Like, do they? I have to look this up if they're obligated to keep him for the franchise tag, or they can just cut him later. I think also because that's too much money for JPP. He doesn't deserve it coming off of. I think it was a hamstring or an ankle injury. He's too late in his career. He can't. I mean, you can get him for like 3 seasons, but I don't believe he can maintain his production, and not at that type of money. It's just not at that type of money anymore. So while Cousins is a win-win with the franchise for himself personally, because either he gets a lot of money or he gets a lot more money, JPP is probably going to want to go years instead of single season dollars. And he says he wants to be locked up. He doesn't want to play on this 1-year tender again. But I mean, if he believes he can prove it, take the 16 or whatever mil and prove it again, and then get another long-term deal later. But I believe he probably stays in New York for somewhere around $9-10 million a year. I don't think he's worth much more than that. I doubt the Giants believe it either. The Steelers also were busy this week. They apparently have not heard whether Ben Roethlisberger is coming back. Now, I know that Roethlisberger has played a long time. I never considered him at the end of his career, but I guess with these recent injuries, especially this past season, he's mulling it over. So the Steelers tried to sweeten the pot for him to come back at least one more go, and they franchised Le'Veon Bell, and they signed Antonio Brown long term. So Antonio Brown was a no-brainer. He's the best receiver in the game. I think that he can easily learn to keep his mouth shut, especially in Pittsburgh. He made his mistake on Facebook Live. Facebook Live! And he taped a locker room conversation of his coach bashing the Patriots, and then they went ahead and got spanked by the Patriots. That was a mistake, but he got his long-term money. Now, I think the First Take folks were debating yesterday, whether he could have got more money if he had kept his mouth shut and not had that antic. But they did not likely factor in whether or not he got outside money. Did sort of to use that? Does he have a back-end deal now with Facebook for other things? There are a lot of marketing opportunities through social media, thank you Facebook, thank you YouTube, that athletes are just trying to tap into. And some video like that gains a ton of press for Facebook would incentivize Facebook to sign Antonio Brown from a side deal. Now, we're not going to hear about any of that until probably the summertime. You want to let the smoke settle on his long-term contract with the Steelers, which is most important because it's his current career. I use air quotes because this is a entertainment career for these athletes, and it doesn't end when their time on the field ends unless they choose it to. And their off-the-field career should begin before that one ends if they're intelligent and have aspirations in that regard. See LeBron, a la LeBron James. They locked up Antonio Brown. That was a smooth, great move for the Steelers that encourages Ben Roethlisberger to come back and try to give it a go for 1 to 3 more seasons. I think he'll play one more. Obviously, if Pittsburgh manages to win next year's Super Bowl, then he will retire. but I'm not sure he's going to play many more than that. Anyways, I think he'll get one more season and then move forward. But whoever replaces him in Pittsburgh is going to have Antonio Brown to throw to, and Le'Veon Bell will be running the football. They franchise tagged him. That was a no-brainer as well. Why let him escape to other teams? And they'll sign a long-term deal for Bell, probably in the 3 to 4 year range. And that locks up 2 Pro Bowl caliber offensive players for whoever's quarterbacking the Steelers. Now, obviously, Steeler fans and everybody would like to see Ben Roethlisberger continue to play, but I don't want to see him get hurt and ruin his later life years because he just kept going for one more season. That's silly. Hang it up a bit early than a bit late, and you'll have a much better life. What is that? Caliber of life, I guess, would be. Because you play football too long, and it's going to damage your quality of life. There we go, quality of life. It will damage it rather quickly if you're not careful. So we don't want that to happen to Big Ben. I'd love to see him in the booth one day. He's fiery, had off-the-field issues that I won't get into here, but whether or not they're true or not did not paint him in a good light. Yet he's interesting, and so I wouldn't mind having him on a talking head show one day. He's interesting. And whoever replaces him will have 2 huge players to work with in Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell. Okay, another big deal that went down. This is not a franchise per se, but the Chiefs locked up Eric Berry, their Pro Bowl safety, for big money long term. Good for them. He has been tremendous over the years, and you don't want to let big players like that get out of your escape. I mean, you want to keep them in-house, keep them wearing your colors, keep your fans happy. Okay. Now, on the opposite side of the spectrum, a few they need everybody. The Giants, who have a crazy good wide receivers, is excellent. The only problem is I'm not super confident in the Giants' offensive line. They need to solidify that. I mean, Eli Manning gets rid of the ball quickly, so you wouldn't know it. But I don't think that their line was particularly great last season. And Adrian Peterson, while still good, has gotten hurt so much. He needs a good offensive line. I mean, everybody needs a good offensive line. But the best running backs can compensate for an average one. But he's later in his career, and he can't afford. I mean, one more injury, he's probably going to be forced to retire. And I don't want to see that happen. I would like to see him finish off his final season or 2. And he needs a good offensive line, like really, really good. So where's that put him? Now, Kansas City Chiefs also let go of Jamal Charles, but they got a young guy in-house already. Now, Peterson, who needs a running back that has good line play? The Buffalo Bills have been picking up, and they got a couple guys already, but I mean, they could grab him, I suppose. The Dolphins could use somebody to pair with Ajay so he doesn't burn out too quickly. That could be interesting. Who else could get Adrian Peterson? Who's actually in position to do something with him? He's not going to sign for anybody that's kind of like an also-ran. I mean, on what I've heard about the video, Revis isn't in the video, and it's unlikely that that was actually his voice on the video. They just made an assumption. I don't think he's going to get charged with anything. If anything, it'll be lowered to a misdemeanor, not these really high charges that seem ridiculous. I mean, unless he was blitz drunk, I mean, that's hard. You still go off the rails like that. Somebody else must have instigated you. I wouldn't be surprised if he came back to the Jets on a 1 or 2 year deal for low money, just because he might want to finish his career there. But he'd have to play safety. He doesn't have the speed to cover at corner anymore, especially in the type of defense the Jets like to play. I don't know where else he fits around the league. I mean, he could be an off the bench type of guy, but again, what are you getting from him? The wheels just quite aren't there. They weren't last season. Now maybe he trains all this offseason, gets a little bit of speed back, or learns how to split the difference and use some new technique on there. But that's why they're putting him at safety in a lot of people's minds. As a Jets fan, I would be thrilled to see him come back for less money and play safety. But he may snatch as much money he can get, and some other team's going to be dumb enough to give it to him. I wouldn't be shocked about that. People just toss money around, and Revis is a name, and it makes a headline here in the offseason and sells some more tickets. So don't be shocked if, like, San Francisco just tosses money at Darrelle Revis. And yeah, Jamal Charles is now a free agent. So while Peterson may want the Giants get to choose between Jamal Charles and Adrian Peterson. Who's got the biggest health issue? Who's got the most legs left for a healthy season? And who can really split time to the team's benefit? Those are the questions to be answered. I love how Cousins was slapped with the exclusive tag. That's big money. That's not a bad thing to be hit with by any means. Oh, and the Patriots will not tag linebacker Dante Hightower. Now, they're known for this. I'm a little surprised Town just wouldn't get the money he's looking for outside of the Patriots. So just to tag him would have guaranteed but they will not be able. Next Tuesday when we return, we'll know who our free agents are, but we won't know where they signed yet because they can't do it till the 9th. And I was touching on the Clippers who got Chris Paul back, but they didn't make any deadline deals, so they're kind of stuck in that 4th, 5th seed in the West. And barring other teams' injuries or a surprise turn of events by LA, I don't know how they're going to get over the hump this year either. The Yankees are looking mighty fine in spring training action. I'm excited. Lots of young players. Who's going to make the team, who won't. I'll touch on that a little bit here, but this is an NFL live stream. And next week, it's all free agency. This week, we saw who got franchised. I'll be back next Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, talking free agency, who's going where, what are the predictions, sure to go wrong. I'm Dan Salem. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for barring with my voice. I've been live on YouTube, live on Facebook, at the Dan Salem on Facebook and Twitter, BuzzChomp over on YouTube, Pillow Talk TV on YouTube, everything at BuzzChomp.com. BuzzChomp.com, we got tons of great fitness, health, tips, programs, recipes, excellent stuff. Plus, because fitness and sports go hand in hand, fitness and comedy and positive energy go hand in hand, how can you not live a happy, positive life if you're being fit and healthy? We got it all there at BuzzChomp. It's what Dan and Mandy here, me and my wife, are all about. Thank you guys for joining me. We'll be back next Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, live on Facebook and on YouTube. Good night. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening.